All right, y'all. Welcome. We're back here at Lane's Raceway. Excuse me. Nose is itching. We're fixing to get underway here for the Ohio Valley Dirt Late Model Series, as you can see. And all the guys are getting around there and running pretty good. Just talked to Guillermo. He's going to make us a couple motor holders for differences in classes and stuff like that to be able to have your opinions ready to go. But anyways, Jay Latham on red lane, Randy Kirtley on white lane, Glenn Burden on green, Guillermo Sire on orange, Garrett Burden on blue, and Action Jackson himself, also known as Golddust, on yellow. All right. Watch your lights. And here we go, folks. Getting started here on our very first running of the Ohio Valley Lawncare Late Model Series. After this race, folks, somebody is going to have a pink wing to support on their car for the best position. It's like we just had a double tap there or something. Let me check something here. Yeah, that shouldn't have happened. But it looks like somebody was a little delayed on pressing the button. Nonetheless, we got it as good as we could get. So as you can see, Jay's bringing those cars around the bottom right there. You can see a little bit better view here where he's going to line the cars up on the start-finish line. They all lose a lap, folks. But after this race, we are going to have a new points leader. Whoever's in first place, they will have that pink wing on the back of their dirt late model for us to be able to identify them. Let's go into the bigger view here, the oval here, as we go, whoa, right out of the gate. Big wide open wrecks here involving the old Ohio Valley dirt late model itself there of Garrett Burden's, the green and pink and white car there. Also, looks like Randy Kirtley, Glenn Burden, everybody except for Guillermo Sire and Jay Latham involved in that wreck. And that's a horrible place to wreck, folks, because the high banks pretty much makes it where you have a full lap that you lose. You've heard me say it here before, these cars hardly ever wreck. Well, today, we've not even made it a couple laps and seen these wrecks, but I'll tell you what, I'm not lying when I say it. They usually do not wreck, but nonetheless, today we're seeing quite a few wrecks here as Jay Latham goes getting his position there. Glenn Burden hitting the button, and we're going back racing here, folks. See Guillermo Sire's car come to a complete stop there, and a good move there by Jackson to stop in the high banks instead of wrecking into Guillermo, because that would have cost him a lap. Now Guillermo Sire losing a lap too, so I think that makes everybody, all 8, already having a wreck here on the track. So that's round robin 1 of 8 currently with 1 minute and 41 seconds left to roll, and already a lot of drama here in the Ohio Valley Dirt Late Model Series. Guillermo Sire's car coming off again in the high banks. He might want to take a look at his car because he definitely does not want to keep wrecking there in the high banks portion of the track. Taking a quick look at her there. And we're going by green racing. I don't know about you, but I'm a little anxious about these cars. So much wrecks right off the gate here. We got 2 more cars getting involved in an incident. Jay Latham's car actually getting hammered right there in the crook of the track, knocked into white lane. What a rough exchange we're having here, folks. Rough beginning to this race. Like I said, I've never seen these cars handle as horribly as I've seen so far. They're usually locked on, ready to roll. We're having some issues here tonight for sure. As Garrett there goes to try to get his, I believe, braid pushed back into his car. We're going to go ahead, of course, and wait on that. We got plenty of time here, folks. These races have been streamlined, running real well here. We did do a vote. As we had made a special provision for one of the races for a person that we won't name. Nonetheless, that provision did not work out. So there will be drops in the Wing Car Series and in the Fairview IT Cup Management Series. Fairview IT Management Cup Series. I'm walking all over myself today, talk-wise. So we're going to require 4 races, and you can drop 4 races. So that way that you don't have to be here every single week, but you can definitely increase your chances of doing better if you make it every week. Whereas before, there was no drops in the Wing Car or Fairview IT Management Cup Series. So we get several cars coming off yet again here in the High Banks portion of the, or Dead Man's Corner portion of the track. Looks like Jay Latham, another car or so. This series, for sure, folks, is definitely one that is very hard to catch back up once you've done some wrecking. So, all the gear ratios, 929 lockdown gear ratios, going to be a lot of side-to-side racing for sure. Definitely want to race your own line. You don't want to try to be racing the guy below you for sure, because he will beat you because of being shorter. You just want to kind of run your own stuff, be smooth, and try to not wreck. If there is a wreck, you definitely want to let off that trigger, because if you get caught up in that wreck, it's game over. As we can see right here, almost a full J we seen there. 29 seconds left to go in this first round robin heat, and Golddust himself, just like he said, he's coming with a vengeance for Jay Latham, and so far he's doing so. There on yellow lane, turning 37 total laps. Glenn Burden and Guillermo Sire, also Garrett Burden, getting lined up in front of the line, and then we see Jackson reaching down there, grabbing another car. Looks to be Randy Kirtley's car, getting put on white. And like I said, folks, this is a game changer here. Once you get busted up and you get put in front of that line, you just lost all that extra that you gained. So this could be a bloodbath for sure before it's all said and done. We might see a little bit more fierce aggression coming from other racers that we normally don't, simply because of this rule change. So we focus in on our leader now, Jackson, down there on yellow, the lowest guy on the field currently, making some pretty good passes here. Right in front of him, Guillermo Sire there on orange. He just can't seem to catch him, as Guillermo's carrying quite a bit more speed there on orange. What a coast Guillermo was able to get there on orange lane. As we can see, Jackson out in the lead, 51 laps, followed by Randy Kirtley and Garrett Burden with 49. Guillermo Sire with 48, Glenn Burden 47, and Jay Latham 45. It'll be about a minute or so before we go back green racing. We'll be right back with you. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going by Green Racing. So it looks like chat's working on YouTube yet again. Everywhere else, not working. Sorry. Uh, Nonetheless, it looks like we might have an issue here before we even get started here. 1 minute 56 seconds left to go. Possibly someone using the restroom. I don't know. Nonetheless, all right, we're back. Gabe, what up, you big sucker? That's my brother, ladies and gentlemen. Are you enjoying the old pigskin throw? What do you think about the Ohio Valley Dirt Late Model Series so far? As you can tell, these guys have been bloodbath, beating, and banging on each other. Right now, Action Jackson in the lead. Just got home. Oh man, that was pretty quick. What was it, a midday game? Guess I've ever seen football play so early, but I don't watch football. The old pigskin. From now on, that's what I'm going to call you, the pigskin. Tom thought that was hilarious. Ooh, and Guillermo Sire getting smoked right there in the high banks. 1 car away from a full J. No, 2 cars. We see Garrett there at the start-finish line. He might actually need to be pushed through. But we got several cars going to lose a big portion, a full lap right there, folks. Randy Kirtley, of course, probably smiling now, as that is going to make him jump up really quick. He's going to get above Guillermo Sire there on white for sure. For those that don't know, Gabriel Kirtley, the man, the main cheese, the king of Fairview IT Management. For all your computing needs, this dude right here can make a computer sing. So definitely check them out if you are in the Bowling Green, Owensboro, McLean County area, or even beyond. I'm sure if the money's right, he'll fly to you. 52 seconds left to go. We are all in the 70s here, it looks like. Jackson going to be the first one, it looks like, to turn that 80 lap, followed by Garrett Burden and Randy Kirtley. But that's just a testament to show you how close these guys are with this series. That's why I love it so much. I've seen 4 preliminary races in this, and every single one of these races in the preliminary has just been beautiful. Very, very tight, very, very close racing. Exciting, to say the very least. Garrett Burden taking his first little stab at first place here with 16 seconds left to go in this round robin heat 2 of 8. And I'm glad to see Garrett Burden there, as we've worked diligently on his car the past week. It's good to see him up there running in the mix for the boys. And I'm telling you, man, we have put in some serious work on his cars trying to get them competitive. He's just had a lot of bad luck during the preliminary season there during September, trying to get his stuff in order, whether it be it or the wing car or his Indy car. I just slipped my mind. But nonetheless, he had a little bit of issues tonight, as you guys seen on the Indy car also. But Garrett Burden right now, currently your leader with 103 laps, followed by Jackson, also known as Golddust, with 102. Guillermo and Glenn tied up with 101. Randy Kirtley, second to last down there with 100. And Jay Latham having a few issues, but it looks like he's on his way back up now. 50 laps on green, a couple laps better than what we see Glenn Burden turning there. So we might see a little change here for Jay Latham. Like I said, we're just getting started here, folks. We ain't really going to have a good knowledge of what's going to take place until we hit that 4 to 5 round to see about how people are heading. So nonetheless, we got a lot of racing left here to do in the Ohio Valley Dirt Late Model Series. Like I said, after this race here tonight, somebody's going to be supporting that hot pink rear spoiler. And I'm thinking Garrett's really wanting to be the first one to support that hot pink spoiler to show off that he is the leader in the points. And this could change weekly depending on whether or not people lose their positioning. And hopefully people work on their cars, kind of polish them axles, do whatever they can. There's not a lot you can do in this series other than just get better behind the trigger. But nonetheless, a minute and 8 seconds left to go. We'll be back green racing. All right, folks, 7 seconds left to go. We're going to be rocking, rolling, reeling, and dealing. The 4 crowns, this is one of them, folks. Ohio Valley Lawncare, $1,000 added because it's a sponsored series. Excited for these guys. And when I say this is my favorite so far this season, I am not going to lie to you. I love the competition between this. Right now, 7 laps separates first from last. That's how close we're looking at it, folks. And we're already in our 3rd heat. It's a beautiful series. I love it. Cars are not brutally slow. They're FCR speeds, or GRC in our case, speeds. But nonetheless, I mean, with the lockdown gear ratios, with it being a tri-oval, with me, when I say teching these cars, I mean teching these cars. I don't let them slide. If I catch one gear ratio being out of tune, any of that, disqualified, period. Checking the heights of the bodies, checking the widths. If your widths don't match, disqualified. Boom. I don't care. There's no bars held in the Four Crowns. Whoever is going to win this Four Crown, or at least one of the crowns, is definitely deserving of winning it. So, like I said, no bars held. I will bust you out. Randy Kirtley taking a look at a car there. Of course, those wrecks, man, whoo, how brutal they are. When you wreck, you get started back at the very back of the track. It's horrible. But at the same time, very exciting. You just never know how things can change. Randy Kirtley here, usually up front. Here he is at the bottom, flirting with disaster. Too many wrecks. Not to mention Jackson taking one of his first hits there. Now he's dropped down for first place, down to fourth. Garrett Burden, 126, holding down the lead right now as he's on black lane. Glenn Burden there with 126 on purple, trying his best to do a little bit of catch up on Garrett. He's just a little bit ahead of Garrett here on purple lane, so he's going to have to dive bomb and really treat it harshly as he takes the Hudson O'Neill car on purple lane real serious. He's trying to dive bomb down on that Ohio Valley Lawncare car on black. About a half a lap difference separates the two, but we can see that Glenn Burden's having somewhat of a battle here right now from Jay Latham there on blue lane. Jay staying with him even though he's on the higher side. Now coming up on the outside of him is Randy Kirtley there on green lane. There's a little bit of a give and take done here, but now Jay Latham getting his smoothness down as we see an incident take place, collecting both Glenn and Randy Kirtley in an incident. So we see Garrett Burden there getting the car put back on for Glenn Burden there on purple lane. Up on green lane, Randy Kirtley getting himself put back up. That's the second time this heat I've seen Randy Kirtley get put back up there. Not what he wants to see as he takes from second to last position and now moving into fourth position, pushing Jackson down into a tie with Jay Latham there for second to last position. So we got a gear spinning. Somebody is losing their gear as we speak. A wild sound, really, really loud and screechy sound. Couldn't tell you right off just by watching it who it is that is got the gear issue. Hey, it's me, T, says vroom, vroom. That'd be my wife, folks. She is a vroom, vroomer. She's over here right now standing on standby. For those that don't know, my wife is the pit lady. So if the guys have stripped gears or anything like that, they yell through the little screen over there by the simulator. And they say, hey, I need a gear. I need this. I need that. And T runs it out there to them real quick and gets it on their ticket so that we can get back green racing as soon as possible. Guys, we might be onto something here. I'm telling you, I really believe this latest setup that we got going on here at Lanes Raceway is streamlined, folks. I love it. I love that we're going by points based. Everything's really simple. I love how smooth the races are going. 2-minute heats, that's plenty enough racing to get the job done. The guys being in control of their own cars, half a second delay, and then a second delay on the back end so that we don't get a bunch of double pressing. We had a little issue there towards the end of the L&P Thunder Series. A couple double pressings took place and stuff. But we learn from our mistakes. We move forward as a team and a group, and I'm telling you, I think we might actually be, after a year, folks, found us something that we can actually set in and actually call it home. So 9 laps separates first to last. 159 first place, Garrett Burden, Jackson with 150 down at the bottom. Garrett Burden really putting on a show right now with his 159 total laps and an average of 53 total laps. Glenn Burden there in second place, 158. Guillermo Sire, 153. Randy Kirtley, 152. 151 of Jay Latham, and 150 of Action Jackson himself, also known as Golddust. 3 seconds left to go, ladies and gentlemen. Rockin' rolling. The Four Crowns. Are you hyped? I'm hyped. Randy Kirtley hurrying up getting his car. He better take off sprinting, folks, as he just had to get him a new guide flag. We're back green racing. Garrett Burton turning the first lap. 160 there on yellow. Glenn Burton now on the low lane. Black lane, 161. He's trying his best to reel in Garrett, and it looks like he's going to do so here. He's about 4 car lengths difference from him as he dive bombs down low on black. Garrett kind of running a little slow there on yellow through Dead Man's Corner, but still nice and smooth. He's just got to keep that car in tow. 1 lap separates the lead from Garrett and Glenn Burton. Glenn Burton now about a third of the track ahead of Garrett, now to a half. So definitely Glenn Burton's turning quite a bit faster, about a tenth or so second faster per lap than Garrett Burton. So battle of the Burdens currently. Down low on purple lane, we see Jay Latham trying to get a piece of Garrett Burton too. As we see Glenn Burton there getting his car put back on in the front, losing a little bit of time there, coming off on black. It's always better to wreck there in Dead Man's Corner than it is to wreck up in the high banks. And we've had several high bank wrecks here tonight. People dive bombing in there going side by side through the high banks. Sometimes they step out just a little too much. We get a full-blown J rolling out here. For those that don't know, full-blown J, that's all cars on the track wrecking. It's giving a credit to Jay Latham there on purple lane for doing it, being the first one to do so on Lanes Raceway. So we got 2 cars here, Garrett's and Guillermo's. Not what Garrett wanted to see for sure, as he was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. But the rules are the rules. He's got to be put in front of the start line. I mean, this could definitely, in a sense, make you or break you here, folks. "35 seconds left to go. Now we have a tie between Garrett and Glenn. Will he be able to hold it off? Well, we see Garrett getting put at the start-finish line right next to Glenn Burton. So there's the difference between first and second there, folks. A little bit of a jolt start there for Glenn Burton, but he's going to make the pass now, and we're going to see a change in leadership. Glenn Burton now in first place, 202 to Garrett Burton's 201. Randy Kirtley, Jay Latham coming back in the mix. Jay Latham 198, Randy Kirtley 199. They're battling it out. That's blue and purple, folks. As we can see, the blue car of Randy Kirtley trying to make a pass on the outside, but not going to make it happen there on Garrett, as he kind of just finds his place behind him. But that's not slowing down Jay Latham, as he's going to try to get him a piece of Glenn Burton. Really tight racing here, folks. Really, really tight racing. Take a look here at the track mate. We can see Glenn Burton, your current leader now, 53.8 average. Garrett Burton kind of falling out after he's had a couple wrecks there. 53.5, dropping to second position. 1 lap separates their differences there on Black Lane, which is the deciding factor here at Lanes Raceway. Usually, Black Lane is the fastest. Randy Kirtley turning an impressive 57 laps there on Blue Lane, though, as he's going to be heading his way down south also. Going to end up ending his race here tonight on Orange. Jay Latham right there turning 57 total laps there, tied with Glenn Burton there on Purple Lane. Another one that's going to be fist fighting his way up to the top. But hey, don't count Guillermo Sire or Jackson out just yet. Guillermo Sire there turning 55 impressive laps there on Green Lane, the fastest we've seen on green. So far, every lane that Guillermo's been on except for the orange lane, he holds reign supreme. Jackson there with 51 on orange and 51 on green, holding it down also. 142 here before we go back racing. I'm going to leave you here with the oval to watch the guys work on the cars, and we'll see you here soon. Gabriel Curley commenting saying this late model series will be the best series yet. I'm telling you, man. Gabe, you made a wise decision in locking the gear ratios down on this series. I would have to agree with you. Every time they race this series, I get so excited because how close it is. These guys legitimately will hate the high bank wrecks before it's all said and done. They may even get mad at each other eventually for wrecking each other because it's no bars held. Like if you come off when a wreck's taking place, you're going in front of that line. We've already seen several swap ups here since we've started just because of that reason. So this may actually make aggression even more so than we normally see. If we see a guy coming on the outside, you might need to make a stance of saying, hey, I don't need to try to pass this guy because if he wrecks me, I'm going behind the line and he gets advantage. So always changing here at Lanes Raceway for sure. And this series here is so close. I love it. I love the back stretches when they're neck and neck, side by side, beating and banging, rolling through the dead man's corner, going through the high banks, making a risky move. It's full of excitement. Like I said, right now, Glenn Burden in the lead there on yellow lane by 2 laps to Garrett Burden there on orange. We're seeing a lot of swap ups, a lot of change ups here. But Glenn Burden there on yellow, holding it down. Right behind him, literally, the next car in line is Garrett Burden. He's trying to push that orange lane. Down low comes Guillermo Sire out of nowhere on blue lane as he pushes forward. Down below him, Randy Kirtley on purple lane, making his advancements there as he passes Glenn Burden on yellow. Glenn Burden there running deep there with Guillermo Sire through Dead Man's Corner, but Guillermo able to make the pass there on blue lane. Like I said, these cars are really hauling the mail here right now, holding it together within, what seems to be 18 laps now from from the very top to the very bottom. Jackson, of course, falling there towards the bottom of the track now, 36 laps there on green lane. But everybody's staying on, everybody hooking up really well. And this could be, just like we had talked about earlier with Jackson, could just be that the old motor's about to give out. And I can't remember if he's replaced his motor today or not, but either way, if he has, he's going to have to break that motor in. These are some of the side effects of, having older motors versus new motors. You can have an old motor that ain't too good, and you can have a brand new motor that's definitely not going to be broke in and not going to be good unless you've done the break in. So we just had a clean 2 minutes there, 0 wrecks. Of course, those that are in the lead, that's exactly what they want to see. Glenn Burden holding down the lead. His car been strong all the way through the preliminaries. Him and Nathaniel Burden's car both very strong. 271 is the lead there with Glenn Burden as he finishes up his low line runs here. And he's going to be heading towards the high portions of the track. Randy Kirtley there, still got a couple low lanes left to go. Guillermo Sire, we're going to start seeing him move as he's got nothing but low lanes left to roll. 267, 268 is the difference between those two. Jay Latham 266, Garrett Burden 265 with highs left to go, and Jackson with 251. On average, 4 laps separates the difference between first and last place. Very close in consideration to most of our Pro Series that we have been used to. 4 on average is like into the series closeness when it comes to our Pro Series. And here we are just starting this series and we're that close. I have a feeling by the end of this series, it wouldn't surprise me if half the field's on the same lap when the race ends. 1 minute and 35 seconds left to go before we go back green. I'll be right back with you. Gabriel Curley says, Don, you do a great job with the live feed. Well, bro, thank you. It means a lot coming from old Gay Boney, folks. Appreciate it, man. So we got 4 red lights dropping out to green. We're going back green racing. It's going to be some more hard hitting, ripe rolling for sure. Now we're going to see some changes for sure, as we can see, kind of focusing in on our third place member here, Guillermo Sire, there on Purple Lane. There towards the high side of black. It looks like he's actually reeling in Randy Kirtley there on Black Lane. As he makes a nice clean pass on the inside of Jay Latham. As he goes to pass Randy Kirtley on the outside. Might end up being detrimental. Randy Kirtley letting off, pulling a pro move as he lets off and lets that back end sling out just a little bit. I don't know if that was intentional, folks, or a pro move to give the old side swipe. But, folks, I'm telling you, it may get to a bloodthirsty move here before it's all said and done between these racers. That could have been a shots fired to Guillermo saying, hey, I'm running for it. Don't be messing with me. I'm not just going to let you pass me up. Or it could have just been like, hey, you let him up and then Guillermo didn't get on it quick enough to make the pass and stay in front. I don't know. Go back, rewatch it, clip it, put it in the comment sections if you have to. And we can all take a little bit of a look at that to see what we believe. But we're about to see that happen again as Guillermo Sire there on purple shows to make the move. Randy actually lets off fully that time on the backstretch, allowing him to go on by, giving him the right of way. Guillermo Sire making about half of a car length on Randy Kirtley, as we can see here down on the low line battles here. Usually Black Lane being a little bit faster than purple, but it looks like Guillermo's got his car set up to make those nice smooth transitions on purple. I've seen it before. I've seen yellow be faster and I've seen blue be faster. We can see the yellow car of Jay Latham just right behind Randy Kirtley as he's really pushing hard. When Jay Latham hits that section in Dead Man's Corner just perfect, he's actually gaining on Randy. But a lot of times we see Jay Latham take a more of a I'm just trying to stay on approach instead of pushing the subject here. Not going to be able to win it here in the Ohio Valley Dirt Late Model Series by standing by. You're going to have to push with these cars, even though it may mean that you wreck and have to get put in front of the start-finish line. Nonetheless, our leader now, Randy Kirtley, there on Black Lane with 422, but right behind him, Guillermo Sire with 422. Unless something really detrimental happens to Guillermo Sire, being that he has nothing but low lanes left to go for the remainder of this race, we're probably going to see Guillermo Sire probably take this one home. Randy Kirtley, of course, going to move up from black to yellow. Going to be very detrimental for the rest of the racing here. But Guillermo putting in the work, just like everybody else, he went through a vigorous, and I mean vigorous, breakdown. I've had them take their bodies off. I checked inside the motors, checked for increased timing on the motors. I made sure that their pinions were true. I made sure that their crown gears were good. Only thing different that we can see from all of our racers is a few of them have different bodies, but all of them within spec, I believe. Nothing that I would say would be out of the norm or anything that would be worthy of causing a protest. Nonetheless, here, everybody pretty close, as we can see here now. 23 laps or so is the separation from first to last. Everybody's in the averages of 50. Jackson down there and 51.2. Garrett 52.7. 54 on average for Jay Latham. 54.2 on Glenn Burden. 54.8 for Guillermo Sire, and 55 for Randy Kirtley. But we can see Randy Kirtley moving up. He's going to finish on orange. Guillermo Sire going to finish on yellow. So he's got nothing but lows left to do. That's why I'm kind of making a prediction here with 1 minute and 30 seconds or so left here before we go back green racing. I'm going to leave you on the oval. Right before we start here, 3 seconds left to go. You can see right over my shoulder right here, that is an icy machine, and I'm fixing to get one made. If you're in the local area and you want an icy made, come get them here. We make them the best. You'll love them. Back to racing, though. Boom, we're going green. Here we go. Randy Kirtley out of the gate, turning the first lap, followed by Guillermo Sire. It's going to be very, very tough for Randy to hold Guillermo off. Right there is the pass that changes first to last. There we go. Guillermo Sire got one more lap he's got to make up on Randy Kirtley. Randy Kirtley losing quite a bit of time. I don't know what's going on with his car here, but he has definitely not been able to hold off Guillermo as Guillermo is rocking down on Black Lane. With 343 laps, one lap separates them as Guillermo reels him in for the last time to take over first position. And he's getting about a half a car length per lap, and it looks like he might get him this next lap here, and he does so. So Guillermo Sire there in first place now, followed by Randy Kirtley. Jay Latham now back up into third position here on Orange Lane, and he will finish his race on White Lane where Glenn Burden is currently. Glenn Burden will finish his on red. Garrett will finish his on green, and Jackson will finish his on black. So we're going to see some movement coming from Jackson here down on Purple Lane. We can see as he's holding off Randy Kirtley, the best visibility. Randy Kirtley right there behind him. He's kind of on cruise control. Probably a good position to be in, knowing that Jackson down low already has had shots fired saying that he's going to put people in the wall if they're above him. So Randy Kirtley just minding his own, trying to get some points here this weekend. A good call here as we progress through on the Ohio Valley Lawncare portion of our Four Crowns race here tonight. One more race to go after this. Fairview NASCAR Oval for the Four Crowns at 7 o'clock. If time allots, we will have another GRC Oval race for those that are in the GRC series. So stick around for that. We will end the series, or we will end the live stream here yet again after this race is over with, and we should be getting up and going by 7 o'clock for sure in the Fairview NASCAR Oval. Might actually start it a little bit earlier, but there we go. That's it. Round 7 over with. Guys, you can tell these cars handle. Guillermo Sire out in the lead by one lap, followed by Randy Kirtley with 390. Randy just hoping and praying on a dream that Guillermo gets involved in a bunch of wrecks so that he can take that lead back over. Jay Latham there in third place. He's hoping the same thing, folks. He's 10 laps down from Randy, so he's hoping Randy gets walled a few times. Glenn Burden, 375. He's hoping on them 5 laps to Jay. Jackson, 366, tied with Garrett, 366. Garrett, he's just coming in, folks. He's tired. He's been on the road. He's been up all night long. We'll see how he fares for the rest of this race, too. But everybody within 3 laps on average from each other per heat. What a race we're having here, folks. About a minute or so left to go. And we'll be right back with you. But hey, before we go, like I said, wife over here making me an icy, folks. I'm getting a peach strawberry. That's my new favorite. Used to be peaches and cream, but we're in out of cream here at Lane's Raceway. I do like the pet milk cream that we make a little mixture of that with a little sugar water. Definitely come in here whenever it comes to being Blast of the Past. Will be making them there. She's waiting on me to change over, so I'll mute the mic so she can grind some ice. But nonetheless, minute and 20 seconds. We'll be right back with you. Here we go, folks. Boom. We're going back green in 4 red, beautiful lights. They're going to drop out, and we're rolling. My wife has got my icy looking good back here. I can't wait to show y'all. I can see half of it right now. A little bit of red looking there. But the strawberry, man, really, the flavoring of the strawberry literally tastes like strawberries that you would pluck. They're a little sour, almost like you can taste the seeds even. So, strawberry flavoring really good. If you like a natural type strawberry type flavor. The peach, peach is always good. I don't even care if it's the fake tasting peach, but it's always good. Guillermo Sire out in the lead by 2 laps now. Randy Kirtley 405. Jay Latham, everybody is just in tow right now. No wrecks taking place here. Jackson holding off. Garrett Burton there towards the bottom. Doing a little grinding there. I went ahead and shut the mic off, but looks like she's going to continue on here. Looks like our bottom right camera there might be overheating a little bit as we get a little bit of a blur taking place there from one of our webcams. Nonetheless, not doing too bad here on the computer. 8% for the CPU and 26% for the GPU. So definitely rocking here. 0 frames dropped. So a pretty good build here so far. Everything's working out good. 47 seconds left to go. Guillermo Sire, your leader by 4 laps, followed by Randy Kirtley. Jay Latham there in 3rd place, making a little bit of a cushion from him and Glenn. 4:16, 6 laps ahead of Glenn, followed by Glenn Burton in 4th place. 2 laps difference separates Glenn, probably our closest battle so far, Glenn and Jackson. And Garrett down there in Sleepy Town with 408. Of course, he's fighting to stay awake, folks. He come in here, got him an energy drink a while ago. Here we are. There it is. Strawberry and peaches. Come on and get you one here at Lanes Raceway before they're all gone, because I might eat them all. Oh, perfect. I love it. 2 seconds left to go. Here we go, folks. Guillermo Sire is going to take home a victory here and get those 100 beautiful points here at Lanes Raceway. 451 beautiful laps for 1st place. Guillermo Sire followed by Randy Kirtley 446, and 3rd place Jay Latham 433 to round up your podium. All right, Guillermo, Randy, and Jay, I'd like to get a picture of you there on the podium. Appreciate it. All right, folks, another race down, another race in the bag. Here we go for our first Ohio Valley Dirt Late Model, number 2 of our beautiful 4-crown races here tonight. Coming up next at 7 o'clock p.m., maybe a little bit earlier. Just stay tuned. Make sure you got the bell rung and all that stuff so it pops up on your phone or pops up on your TV, depending on where you're watching from. But coming up next will be the NASCAR on the Oval. God bless you. This is Donnie here at Lanes Raceway.